Do you ever get that feeling where it feels like your blood has run cold? You know, uh, obviously that's not what actually happens, but maybe some of you know the feeling I'm talking about. Like when you think about something kind of scary, and it's that time of the year. Um, and that happens to me periodically here and there when I remember that I'm facing 7.5 years in prison over these charges that they're throwing at me. Um, it has had a chilling effect. Again, I guess that's appropriate for the season in some sense. But yeah, I do not dare protest. There was a chalk walk here in Belfast a few weeks ago, and I really wanted to write some chalk messages, but I don't dare because the last 3 times I have protested, they have thrown a false charge at me every single time, one after the other. But for now, all those criminal charges have more or less been put on hold until December, mid-December or so. I was supposed to have jury selection uh, about a week and a half ago, and then I was scheduled for trial on Halloween, October 31st, no less. But the way they schedule things, uh, it was I was the backup case. So there was a case that was scheduled ahead of me, and if it had not gone to trial, if say a plea deal had been brokered, then my case would have gone to trial instead. But the defendant in that case chose to take it to trial, and good job on her. I think plea deals are deals with the devil, in my opinion. Should not be legal. But anyway, um, so yeah, so all the criminal stuff is basically put on hold. I did get the bill of particulars on for a disorderly conduct charge, is where they have to spell out exactly what you're charged with. And sure enough, it says right in black and white that what I am charged with is going up to these folks. I was filming, um, and I was uninvited, but I was on public property. They don't need to invite me. I'm allowed to film. And I said, and I referred to the Belfast police as cunts. And that says right there in black and white, that's the offensive words. Referring to the Belfast police as cunts is the disorderly conduct. And then also this guy, Michael Wooten, claims that he felt threatened at one point when I kind of leaned over and made a joke. I was never closer than, if I was even at arm's length, never closer than that. Just kind of leaned over, and he was on his phone, and I kind of leaned over his shoulder. He was sitting down eating at a sidewalk cafe. I was on the sidewalk, which is elevated a few, 6 inches. I kind of leaned over a little bit and spoke as if I was behind him, spoke as if, he was on his phone like this. And I kind of leaned over and said, hey, if you're, going to send somebody down, make sure to send Trabuzio down, because I got a lot to say to her, Officer Trabuzio of the BPD. Anyway, I get about, I'm just about finishing up that joke. And then he suddenly jumps up and pretends to feel threatened, claims that I was in his space. So the DA is using that as well. Now, let alone the video clearly shows this guy implicitly threatening me, like right off the bat. So if threats are the issue, which is more of a threat? Let me ask you this. I go up to this guy and I'm just protesting, and I haven't done anything, no accusation I've done anything illegal at this point. I just approach them, say my spiel, which does contain offensive language. But the guy pretty much right off the bat, first he asked me to leave once, or he asked to get some peace once, because I say Belfast has victim blaming criminal police, and if the Swanville gets no justice, Belfast doesn't get any peace. And he says, well, we would like some peace. And I said, well, you're in Belfast, so what you can do to get some peace? And he immediately says, threatens me, says, I tell you what I'm going to do to get some, if you don't get the hell out of here, or something like that, an implicit threat. But then he tries to flip the script later and claim that me leaning over like that. And the DA, of course, is going to go along with that. So there's that in there as well. But the main thing is me referring to the Belfast police as criminal cunts. That's unlawful, according to the police here in Belfast and the district attorney's office. That is an unlawful act. And I've been, rightfully so, hearing a lot, on the news and from people I know personally and whatever. I mean, it's a thing that's going on now, right? This crackdown on free speech at a national level. The Trump administration cracked down on free speech, and a lot of people are up in arms about it. More people than not, I would guess. But the thing is, this is not, all this started with me under Biden, the Biden administration. This stuff's been going on for years. Now it's just, gone national and it's getting more headlines and stuff. But I mean, this isn't, we have not had free speech in this country, really. We did for a little while, sort of, like around the turn of the century, and then 9/11 happened, and then they took it away again, basically. Anyway, so there's all that with the criminal stuff, and then civil stuff. I have the 1983 civil rights lawsuit that I've been pursuing in federal court against some Waldo County Sheriff's deputies is still proceeding. It's in discovery and set for trial if it gets that far in February, early February. And then I also am suing an attorney who represented me way back when all this started for me, all my legal troubles started. He misrepresented me, I should say, in the first criminal case they brought against me. First charge they threw against me for protesting, basically, which was felony terrorizing with the use of a dangerous weapon, because I did a YouTube rant where I said I thought some people should get the death penalty if that was the law, and you could see some anti-hunting rifles in the background. So and at one point I said that I hope a nuclear bomb takes out Swan Lake Grocery. So, that got combined into felony terrorizing with the use of a dangerous weapon, and I was facing 5 years for it. And he just completely fell down on the case. Nathan Bell is his name, and so I'm suing him as well. And ended up having to have the case. I think at my last update, I was just about to serve him the paperwork, and I ended up having to do that through the sheriff's department just because it's so much cheaper. It was like $85 through the sheriff's department. It's like $143, I think, was the minimum estimate I got from private process servers. So I don't like giving the sheriff's department any more money. Of course, I might be taking some of theirs away if this lawsuit, or at least some of their deputies, ex-deputies, lost money away through lawsuits. And what I've been working on a lot lately is when I'm in town is I'm kind of compiling all of the history of the, since this started for me since 2018, that felony terrorizing charge I just mentioned. It's just been going on and on, charge after charge after charge, like a dozen charges. Almost all of them false. One of them was an OUI, and that's my fault. But the other 11 or whatever, just complete BS, having to do with me protesting. There's just retaliation for me protesting against Swan Lake Grocery at first, and then against the police themselves. Straight up, it's there's obviously, anyway, I'm compiling this and just putting it all together to like keep everything tracked for straight for like lawsuits and stuff. And I'm doing it with the help of AIs, and the AIs are telling me that I have grounds to sue for that. I have now established a pattern of, pattern or custom of them retaliating. Even just that the recent 3 charges taken together can constitute that. It doesn't even have to be over a long period of time. So now I'm looking into suing like the municipalities, uh, like Belfast, definitely. Maybe Waldo County. I mean, they definitely deserve it, but it's just a little trickier with them for reasons I won't go into here. And yeah, so there's all that. Um, I hope you're all out there staying safe, not getting deported to El Salvador or whatever they're doing now. Um, and yeah, just be careful out there. I am, like I say, I don't dare protest these, especially with what's going on at the national level. But they already had me chilled just with the local stuff. Um, yeah. So anyway, yeah. Thank you for uh, for bearing witness, doing whatever you do to fight the fight. Keep fighting. Peace